With another red day in the market, I really do think this is all just par for the course and a big buyer's opportunity for those who still have conviction throughout the rest of this year. A ton of signals are flashing to show us that Q4 is going to be the most explosive over the last 4 years. So in this video, I'm going to go over the altcoins number one that I am looking at for accumulation, but number two, all of the key pivotal signs that this market is not topped. We have not reached a local top or even a cycle top for tons of assets across the market. And yes, it has been painful for altcoins, but I think conviction right now will have the highest returns. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Before we dive into the meat of the content today, and we're going to try to keep this one short and concise, be sure to drop down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered multiple times a week across all the top narratives and trades that you need to win throughout this bull cycle. As well, a big shout out to our sponsors on the channel. We have some amazing sponsors from Nexus Labs, the software product we use every day on this platform, from Blowfin, one of the best centralized exchanges in crypto, and 𝗔𝗶𝗍𝗪, the derivatives exchange from CoinW. And if you're not already trading with Blowfin, they just had a monstrous month of August as far as, exchange metrics versus other exchanges. They are growing at a rapid rate, and it's because they're giving away so much money as sign-up bonuses. And you can see here on the left, if you were to do a certain amount of trading volume, you could get up to 9,400 USDT into your account absolutely free just from your trades. And all you need to do is trade $1,000 to get free futures bonuses. So guys, link down below in the description. You can trade on Blowfin from anywhere in the world, no KYC. It is my absolute number one preference for centralized exchanges in the industry. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Right now, as mentioned in the intro, we're seeing a little bit of red across the board. This is really not surprising. I'm not expecting upside in the short term. However, I do think the bearish September narrative is absolutely overblown at this point in time. And I basically align with this thesis here pretty, I would say to the point. And at the same time, what I had tweeted the other day is that I think right now the narrative is overblown of a bearish September. When everyone leans one way, it usually pays to go the opposite way. Seeing so many people that are just upset and bearish about September, where historically it is one of the worst months in crypto. But looking across the markets, it just does seem we're already taking that huge dip. Now, if we go down lower, that's a blessing. We can DCA lower. But I love this tweet here from 𝗕𝗟𝗢 as he says, I never go off the basis of this month is historically because it's crypto and it does whatever the heck that it wants to do. And that is the truth. I go off technicals and prices. Everything else to me is irrelevant, including fundamentals. I think the market is massively overdue for a recovery and all-time highs should be revisited. Shorts have had it far too easy. We're just shy of 100K psychological number. Wouldn't it be fun if we got close enough that everyone doomsdays into capitulation and then we recover? And I absolutely agree with that thesis. I think overall people are too bearish at this point in time, and I think the upside is around the corner given the fact that Bitcoin usually does follow gold. Every time that gold has had these massive bull runs, which right now, if you have not seen the gold chart is ripping at this point in time. Historically, gold leads Bitcoin breakouts. The higher that gold goes, the more catching up Bitcoin will do. And that could be the actual tipping point that leads this market into new all-time highs, maybe seeing that Ethereum new all-time high, as well as finally sending us into an alt season. Because as you can see here, the amount of red in those middle columns, it's not really been a fun year or a fun couple of months for most altcoins in the current market. And I love this tweet from Becker as well. I'd give you analysis on this price, but I'm effing R-word, and ETH is going to 10K eventually, so why even bother? Sips chocolate milk and returns to making waifu tier lists on Reddit. It's a great way to put it. Literally, just if you're allocated into altcoins right now, it's not time to freak out or try to rearrange your positions every day to try to catch the day's green candles. Like, that's not what this time is for. This time is for finding conviction plays, and you want to really focus at this point on the top market tokens. Like, do not really be delving into absolute shit coins that are a couple 100,000 market cap. The trenches aren't really alive despite this creator coin thing that went on this last week. Like, don't really bother with any of that. If you're serious and you're trying to grow a crypto portfolio, focus on the majors. As we see here, another huge day for digital asset treasury companies. We see that Sharps Technology Inc. acquires over 2 million Solana, the native asset of Sol and the fastest and most used public blockchain. So the money's not stopping coming into Bitcoin, ETH, even Solana. We've seen XRP being added. We've seen Athena treasuries being formed. We've seen Hyperliquid treasuries being formed. So overall, this is the time to take a look at the market. You're seeing dips across the board, and honestly, they're not massive dips. If we just look at the 1 week charts, when Bitcoin is down 2%, usually alts are going to be down double-digit percentage. Right now, some of these alts like Hyperliquid, 𝗬𝗎, Avalanche, TON, they're hardly even in the red, Athena, etc. So those are absolutely DCA targets for me. I love Athena at these prices. I love 𝗬𝗏. I also love Hyperliquid and 𝗬𝗎 as far as high-level coins that are just sitting right in front of you, have shown when the market turns up, they are very aggressive to the upside. These prices right now, I think, are a blessing heading into Q4. And for all the historical traders out there that are saying, oh, September's going to be bad. Well, October is always considered to be Uptober. Literally every single year for the most part, 80% of the last 10 years, we've seen green Octobers, and especially in the 4th year of the cycle. So if you are going to live and die by historicals, why not allocate during one of the historically worst months in crypto? I do think by the end of this month, when rate cuts potentially get on the table, that we do see upside regardless. So this is the time to be finding those value entry points. And I'm going to go over a few of the top coins that I am actively DCAing right now. My bags are pretty full on 𝗬𝗏, on stuff like Hyperliquid, 𝗬𝗎, etc. If they were to continue to fall, I would absolutely allocate more into those positions. And crazy enough, that Hyperliquid leverage long that we opened at 43 has really never gone into the red. Like, this is still a positive trade. And I think if we hit our cycle targets of $80 to $100 on Hyperliquid, that is going to be such a massive win. That trade alone on leverage could literally be the cycle trade for anyone who's allocated properly with size, but also has good enough downside to where their margin is healthy and their liquidation price is very low. But there are 4 altcoins I'm really watching in the market right now. Number one, and one that I'm actively DCAing, is KTA. We talked about this last show, but as we see here on this monthly chart, this thing got up to $1.60, literally less than a month ago. This was about 3 weeks ago that KTA was trading at $1.54. And I love this tweet here because a lot of people are overlooking KTA. They don't even know what it is for the most part. It seems like one of those trades that people are going to start hearing winds of whenever it's almost too late. But so far, for people that don't understand, KTA is not just another layer 1. It's the on and off ramp for nearly any fiat currency into cryptocurrency due to its infrastructure that connects TradFi and every notable blockchain. It is essentially its own DEX/SEX, but with a better and easier user experience than everything that exists currently in the market. Now, the use case alone is big given the institutional narrative we currently have in crypto, not to mention everything else the technology can do, such as tokenization. We're seeing so many markets being tokenized, including trading cards, including fantasy sports, including real estate, hedge funds. This has all been happening over the last 3 months. On-chain KYC, private compliant subnets, payments faster than any chain, etc. So the product, as far as KTA, is absolutely killer, and I do think that we revisit these highs and more in the coming months. So this is an absolute steal of a price, in my opinion, at a $300 million market cap for KTA, and I am absolutely accumulating at these levels. Number 2 is AVAX. I still continue to believe that Avalanche is going to be the number 1 catch-up trade. Like, this is the one token that just hasn't moved. And if we just literally look at the last few years, I really hate having to bring it up so constantly on the videos as well, but it's criminal how undervalued this is based on the adoption that it's receiving. It has traded between the $16 mark, and it got up to like 26, 27. That's it. For the last 5-6 months, right? And even from this level in March, for the last 5 months, this coin has just been absolutely suppressed in these levels. We got up at the end of July at about $27. We also almost hit 27 back here at the all-time highs of Bitcoin whenever it hit that $124,000 level. But I think once this breaks out, it is going to be a clear upside to at least this $50 mark, if not $100, given the historical all-time high on Avalanche is much higher than that. And right now, the stablecoin inflows every single day, you can go check these yourself. Avalanche is getting the most on-ramped in the entire industry. And this is because of their total just ecosystem in general is one of the highest adopted. As I've mentioned, today a new app went live in the ecosystem and it shows you their ecosystem in one big picture. There's gaming, DeFi, RWA, BlackRock, SocialFi, government applications, government stablecoins, full-blown country stablecoins, hedge funds, meme coins. Like, this has been one of the most widespread adopted products in all of crypto, and the price hasn't moved. That makes no sense to me, and I do think people will end up narrative hopping once alts get hot, and this is going to absolutely be one of them with the AVAX token. So that is number 2. Number 3 is heading into the gaming niche, which is high risk at this point. Look, I understand. And I love this tweet from Connor from 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏. And yes, I'm a huge 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏 bull, but he's just talking about the gaming space in general here. It's clear to see which gaming projects are growing and which aren't. Most have raised millions and haven't built anything pivoting to AI or using the illusion that they're using AI or closing down completely. We've seen big wins recently with Football.Fun, Mythical, and Courtyard, which is a trading cards. Mythical is behind a few big products, which we're going to talk about in a second. And Football.Fun is the fantasy soccer app. Gaming and crypto are two major industries that keep growing. Being a leader at the intersection will be massively valuable, but we have gaming products with no users, no product market fit, and no revenue at 9-figure FTVs. I think capital will be rotating out of these ghost products and into ones that actually move the space forward this cycle. And that list has absolutely shrunk. Like, there's maybe only 5 quality full-blown businesses at this point in time in crypto gaming. That's not even being harsh. That's just legitimate. I think one of them is absolutely 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗏 at their current valuation. That is definitely on the higher risk spectrum, but at the same time, they're backed by Swissborg. Even that the market cap is only $18 million, I still believe in this product full-fledged, that they will be one of the leaders in the gaming space. But there's a couple things attached to gaming currently that I'm absolutely keyed in on. Number 1 is Pengu, which lines up a lot because we've been trying to get an entry on Pengu, and under 3 cents heading into abstract TGE later this year. I think this is going to be a major winner. Probably if we do see alt season, this can get up to $10 billion market cap, which would be about a 6x from here. That's definitely a bullish target, but at the same time, we've seen crazier things on stupider tokens over the course of history. And right now, Pudgy has added another element to their ecosystem with Pudgy Party. This is kind of like Fall Guys meets Blanco's Block Party. Right now, it's like a racing game that's fun. You can play with your friends. There's like a map and you have characters. And right now, you can trade these and they're going for $700, $1,500 on the open market. You can play the game completely free and earn these skins, and there's no token extraction inside the game. It's all based off assets, and it's all pegged to a stable coin, which is absolutely phenomenal. You can either use the Mythos token to buy or sell, or you can also use just general crypto, fiat, whatever the case is. And very few people have caught on, as Luca says, to the fact that you can unlock skins and trade them inside of Pudgy Party. I have a theory that if you played Pudgy Party full time, you could make more than a minimum wage job. Now, that's a bold statement, but we do see here it's paying to be early and supporting. We see skins here at $700, even a free skin you can earn in the game, just an $8 skin. Like, you can just trade these things in and out, accumulate them throughout the game, and I do think this is a massive opportunity. And also, I think this just adds more layers to the Pengu ecosystem. From the toys, entertainment, the IP, everything going on. Now they're full-fledged into gaming with one of the biggest sleeper companies in all of gaming, which leads me to my 4th coin that I'm not DCAing, but I am watching very closely. If we have a gaming run, this business has been around the longest at this point in crypto. They had Blanco's Block Party live. Aside from like Axie Infinity or Ronin, They were one of the OGs in the space, and they've shipped some of the most successful games in the space. NFL rivals, FIFA rivals, as well as Pudgy Party. And right now their token's at $76 million market cap, which is shocking to me because they are probably the best crypto gaming business overall that has created sustainable games that people don't end up leaving because of the extractionary nature of the tokenomics. But at this point, if we look at the year, it's down 50%. So like I said, this is a token I'm watching, and I think alpha to watch this token, especially if we start to see gaming heat up. I think this is a coin that could be a sneaky winner. My only concern is the trading volume here. Not a lot of volume on this coin, which to me is just incredibly surprising. Just the fact that Mythical Games has built this out. They've had so many big winners. They are a revenue generator, and at the same time, their token's very suppressed. So as far as gaming, this is a coin that I am watching. And look, gaming is alive and well at this point with Pudgy Party, Football.fun. Like we said, collectibles on chain. We see stuff like Gigaverse raising $2 million over on the Abstract chain. We see stuff like Collector Crypt Gacha, which is like trading cards on chain. It's a gamified way of trading cards without having to do the physical in and out natures or dealing with the mailing process, whatever the case is. So right now, these types of things are in at this point in time, and I'm very excited to see the gaming resurgence. I think it was a matter of time to flush out some of the bad projects and bring back some of the quality projects and really rise those up your conviction list, right? Because a lot of people seem to not be looking at stuff like Mythos as a token / investment. And I know that Mythical Games is so serious that they could care less also, but at the same time, this could be a massive winner if this does catch fire. So like I said, this is not something I'm DCAing. I have zero exposure to this at this point in time, but this is one, if it was to keep falling to lower valuations, I think it's a no-brainer to pick up, especially if gaming heats up. This could be one of the biggest winners in the market. So as of today, the three that I'm looking at mainly are AVAX, KTA, as well as Pengu, and I'm also watching Mythos very closely. If I see volume upticking on this token, as well as all of their ecosystem games like Rivals for FIFA, NFL, and also Pudgy Party continuing these metrics, I think it would be a nice trade. So I will update you guys if I take a position there. Otherwise, I am generally bullish, and I agree, like I said, with the tweet I read earlier. I think we are way oversold at this point in time. Shorts are absolutely crushing the market at this point. I do think it's about time for a recovery, and I wouldn't be surprised to see all-time highs sooner than later. I don't think it's going to happen this month. If it does, I'm extremely happy because we're well positioned, but at the same time, I'm leaving some stables on the side. If we were to get closer to 100 on Bitcoin, I could only imagine what some of these altcoins are going to look at, and that's when I'll allocate more capital. So guys, like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more. I'll see you guys tomorrow to close out the week. As always, play well, my friends, trade responsibly, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.